So, we will be talking about work-life balance, work-life integration, work-life alignment, whatever you like to call it. That's what we're talking about today. Thank you for joining me. And like you know, my name is Chioma Moma. As busy working mothers or working parents, we have a lot to do. We have a lot of things scheduled, we have our businesses, we have our careers, we have our social activities, and then we have our children who are obviously really, really important. And that's why we're talking today about work life balance. How can we be effective in our lives as parents as well as still meet those deadlines, whether at work, in our businesses, even be good spouses, or attend to all those other social activities that we hold so dear? That's what we're talking about today. Now, as an individual, there's so many things we need to do to make sure we are functioning properly. And we want to make sure we are doing them in a way that does not leave us burnt out or exhausted. And that's why we have these tips to help us live a good, healthy life and to achieve work-life balance. Now, the first question I always get asked is, work-life balance, is it achievable? Is it possible? The truth is that balancing stuff is always a juggling act. At some points, your work might take over. At some points, your life, other parts of your life might take over. Sometimes you might even drop the ball. But we have to keep on trying to make sure that those important aspects of our life are not ignored or are not left to chance. And by those important aspects, I mean our family life. It is very paramount that our children never feel that they are being ignored or that they are playing second fiddle to our work or career. So let's talk about a few of those tips which have been able to help me and which I am sure will help lots of us as we try to achieve alignment between our work and our life. Okay? First of all, you need to plan. It's often said that when you fail to plan, then you're planning to fail. So you have to have a place where you have all your tasks for the day well aligned. They have to be well thought out. What are you doing today? What are you doing tomorrow? What's your plan for the week? You have to ensure that you have a place where you write down the things you plan to do at work and even at home. For me, I carry a small diary or journal in my bag. The day before I go to bed, I make sure I write out the things I need to do the next day. That way you do not get to forget them, or you don't get frustrated or overwhelmed trying to juggle them all together. Also, it ensures that you have a good, that your schedule is well aligned, okay? So try to write things down. It's really, really important. For the weekend, have your plans and say, oh, maybe I want to do this weekend, I want to do this tomorrow. When you have your work and your social activities and everything written out, it helps you achieve that balance. If your children have activities in school, like recitals, Parents' Day, take time to write those things down and plan. Have a structure so you know that this is what I'm doing this week, this is what I'm doing next week. It is very, very important. So please get a journal. If you don't have one, get a place where you're writing stuff down every day as you live your life so that you don't get overwhelmed. So first one, plan. Plan your work, plan your life, plan everything. I'm not saying that you will not have times when you do things on impulse. It happens. At times you just don't plan things all the time. Okay, so nobody is saying that you should be a robot. But as much as possible, try and have a schedule, a routine, or a plan. It's very important. Another thing you need to do is to create time. Time waits for no one. We don't have enough time in the day. That is the honest truth. But for the time that you have to purposely try to find time. Find creative ways to create that time. For instance, if you know that you go to work very early each day and your children are still in bed, why don't you wake up like 30 or 40 minutes earlier and exercise? Because that's part of your work life, okay? That's part of your life. Exercise, get exercise in. Or maybe during your lunch break, you can take some time off to spend with your children or pick them up from school. There has to be a way of creating time for those things that are important to you. If it's important to you, you will find time for it. That's just the honest truth. A lot of us have been, we have some things that we enjoy doing, that we enjoy watching. It could be Big Brother, any of these, series or whatever it is. People find time to do what they want. That's the honest truth. So you need to be Very intentional about creating time for things that are important. Whether it's your prayer life, the time you spend with your children, the time you spend with your spouse, and the time you spend with work. So try and create time. It's very, very necessary to help you have a well-balanced, thought-out work-life balance. Okay? For instance, if you know that there's something you need to do in church, maybe you can say, okay, instead of doing it all the time, maybe I'll just spend like 20 minutes, at that activity. That way, you've not missed out completely. Or if it's Parents' Day, you can choose a time that works for you, or just find ways. We can get creative, like I said. If most times it means waking up a bit earlier or going to bed a bit later, or removing things that are not important from your life, like scrolling through your phone every 5 minutes. All these things are time wasters. Create time and kill the time wasters in your life. Number 3 is exercise. Now, we all know that bodily exercise profiteth little. It profiteth something. And when you exercise, your energy levels are up. You are more energized through the day. You feel more alive. You're healthier. And that way you're able to give more to your family and to your work. So find a way to incorporate exercise into what you do, your daily life, your routine, however you like. One thing you can do is to get some small sporting appliances like ellipticals, weights, anything you can get in the house. Just create a little space and you can exercise in the comfort of your home. Or get a gym membership close to you, somewhere that you know that you will actually go to. Another way to find how you can exercise is by not using the lift in your office. For me, I try to walk up the stairs as much as possible. Or not sending your children or your help to go and get everything you need in the house. Sometimes actually get up and do it yourself. That way you are incorporating exercise into your daily routine. Okay? So find a way. It could be a gym near your office. It could be a gym near your house. Or like I said, get an elliptical or a treadmill right in your house. You can get a lot of cheap ones online. Cheap and actually effective good ones. So look for them and try to make sure you are exercising every day. These are ways of keeping yourself healthy and keeping your energy levels up, like I said before. Another tip that will help us achieve work-life balance is by socializing with your co-workers. Think about it. You spend so much time with your colleagues every day. You have to be able to tolerate them at the very least. Try and let them know what your family is about. I'm not saying you must bring them to your home or whatever it is, but yes, why not? If you have decent co-workers, people you spend time with, get to know them. Get to see them beyond that lady or that man in the office. And also allow them to see you beyond that lady or that man in the office. These are effective ways for them to see who you are beyond just being somebody in the office, okay? And also it helps you reduce tension. It helps you increase your efficiency in the workplace. Easy ways of doing this, bringing your family picture and putting it on your desk or things like that. Or like I said, when you have small events, your child's dedication or something, you can invite a few of your colleagues. Let them see you beyond just being somebody in the workplace. Also, you can have things like happy hour where you go out with your co-workers. If you don't want to bring them into your home, that's fine. Friday evening after work, go and hang out with your co-workers. Get to spend time with them beyond the office. This helps you relate to them better when you're doing tasks, and it helps you be a better team player. It helps you enjoy them and feel more relaxed while you're working, which helps you become more effective and efficient as a worker. The same thing if you're a business person. Get to know people in your industry. Maybe join a work association or a business, anything that will help you. Just find ways of being close to people in the industry and working with them more effectively. It helps your work become lighter and it helps you become even better at what you do, okay? This is very important. Work-life balance cannot be achieved without rest. So you have to relax. Find ways to purposely relax in everything you do. When you finish working hard every day, take out time to sleep well. Don't take your work home if you can help it, okay? If you have a business, have a time when you cut off. Sometimes you see people, they're answering calls throughout the day. There's no cut-off time. There's no stop time. Checking their messages for new customers. Have a time where you say, okay, you know what? Enough for today. Tomorrow morning, I'll start again. Make sure you relax. You need to be relaxed to be your best for your children, your best for your spouse, the best for your friends and for everybody around you. So take time for vacations. Vacations don't have to be expensive. In fact, more than ever, we have seen that sometimes you can just relax in the comfort in the comfort of your home. You do not have to go anywhere. It could be somewhere cheap, you could go to the village, you could just go to a small hotel in your locality. But make sure you take out time to rest and get yourself rejuvenated and revitalized. Rest with your children as well. When you're with your children on vacation, it is not a time to be checking your office email or dealing with business. Have time for everything. Taking time off for a week or two will not stop your business. Really try it. It will really help. Take time to relax, okay? And like I said earlier, still talking about how you relax. Don't take work home. When you're relaxing, you're meant to be on relaxation mode. That means work should stop. Now, unless there's an emergency, remember that you are not indispensable. There is somebody else who can do that task that you are doing. Okay? Your family needs your attention when you're at home. It's not a time to be brainstorming or having a meeting. And trust me, it's hard to even hear your children when they're talking to you and your eyes are on your phone or on the TV. Put your phone down for a minute and take time to spend with those people who do love you, your children. Make sure that, because these kids, these children know when you're paying attention to them. So when you're with them and you're, on your phone or, on Instagram or Facebook or whatever it is, they know you're not paying attention to them. So put your phone down for a minute, put your laptop phone down for a minute. You might feel, well, this is not work related. Whatever it is, pay attention to them, okay? Don't take your work home, don't take your business home. If you work from home, that's a different case. Have a time when you actually say, I'm stopping work and I'm focusing on my family. It's very, very important. Quality time cannot be overestimated. Another important thing that you need to do when you're talking about aligning your work to your life is by having your priorities right. What are those things that are important for now? And what are those things that can go to the back burner? You should always have your priorities right. What is more important to you at this point in time? For instance, you might know, okay, I have this important recital with my children that I should not miss. So that will make you know that, okay, for this week, I must be on time and on target with all my work assignments, so that when I tell my boss next week that, sir, please, I have a recital on Friday, he will not have an excuse to say, you cannot go. It's all about having your priorities right. What's important for you? Okay? If you finish all those tasks, your boss will have no reason to say, oh, you cannot attend that recital. So it's really about priorities, really about planning. Also, for instance, if you know, like I said earlier, you leave the house very early and you don't always get to see your kids, you can say, okay, you know what? I am going to drop my children at school every day, because that will be a very useful way of bonding with that child while you're in that car. Or if you live in a city where you're able to leave for lunch break, you can take your lunch break as a time to pick up your children, and you spend time bonding with them as well and getting to know their teachers and all of that. So you need to just have your priorities right, prioritize. And also there's a time for everything. When your children are growing and they are quite young, having too many social events might actually do you a disservice. There's time for that. When your kids are grow, when they're older, when they're in boarding house, if you're in boarding house, if you subscribe to boarding house, or when they don't need you as often, they need you all their lives, to be honest. But when they're older and a bit more independent, you can afford to have more social activities. But when they're really young, please cut down on your social activities. There's time for everything. At a point, your children would have left the house. I have a 16-year-old now going on 17. He's about to go to university. Where did the time go? So take time. You can socialize, but take it easy. Have time for the family. Okay, so prioritize. Your priorities are important. Even with church activities, a lot of us believe that, to show that we love God, we must be involved in everything in the mosque or in the church or wherever. No. You can actually say, this is not the time for that. I must not be in every committee. I must not be a worker. I must not be. You can work. You can do a lot of things. You can volunteer in church, but you must not volunteer for everything. Okay? You have a family and you have a job and you have a business. You have things that need your attention and they need your full attention, especially your growing children. So you need to say, okay, you know what? What are my priorities for now? I'm still going to volunteer in church. I'm still going to be in my town meeting or whatever it is, but I cannot do as much. A good example, last year I had to be on several committees at church, village meeting, and they wanted me to be the secretary. I had to decline. Not because I didn't want the responsibility, but because I knew it would take up a lot of my time, and I had a child that was preparing for university. I have 4 children, so I had to be realistic and say, you know what, I cannot take up all this responsibility because anything I want to do it properly. So that's really how it is. Sometimes you just have to say, no, I'm not going to take this task for now. It's not a priority for now. Though you have time for all those things. Or maybe instead of taking, 5 committee things, you are take, okay, I'll only take one, or I'll just take a couple. So you really, really have to find ways to know what's important, know what you should drop. Okay? There are really a lot of things you can use, a lot of tips that can help you create work-life balance. Or work-life integration or work-life alignment. But what also helps is allowing your children and your family come into your workspace. Let them understand what you do. Let them spend time with you when you're working. Take them to the office. Let them see what you do and let them even assist you. Another important way to help you achieve work-life balance and alignment is by having a good support system. Your support system is important. It's often said that it takes a village to raise a child. Who is your parenting village? Who are they? Who are the people there? It could be your nanny, it could be good friends, family, your parents. Make sure you have people who are there for you. So even when you have to miss an important event for any reason in your child's life, there's someone who can stand in for you. Yes, it might not be the same as having mommy or daddy there, but still, it will make a difference. It's better than having no one there, okay? So get a good support system who can assist you in the all-important task of being a working mom or a business owner. There are so many tips that can help you achieve work-life balance, work-life alignment, work-life, whatever you want to call it. And the truth is, sometimes, like I said, you may drop the ball, but the important thing is that you keep on trying, that you're consistent in what you do. The little things make a difference. Your child must know that they are very important to you. Those small conversations go a long way in making a difference. That time you spend with them, your presence over any presence. Always letting them know that they're the most important thing, and even the work you do and the business they do is all about them. Let them always know that they are more important than anything else. When it comes to your children and to your family, drop everything, okay? And also, something else that really helps is by bringing them into your life, into your business life, into your work life. Let them be part of it. And as they are part of it, it will make all the difference in ensuring that you are able to have a well-aligned work and life. Thank you very much.